Hello friends, my name's Campbell and this is Spiral Up. And today I wanted to talk about creating the future. Creating the future. Now, we all know, or at least if you've watched this channel for a little while, we are creators, guys. We are a creation of the creator, of God, the universe, everything. But we are also creators, and we create with our thoughts, with our imagination. We create from the internal world, because when you get down to basics, when you get down to the structure of what we are and what everything is we're a torus. Everything about this realm is a torus or a toroid. So a torus, if you don't know, is like a donut. It's exactly like a donut. It's a donut shape. And what happens with the energy is it moves from the inside center over to the outside and then back in again. And then out and then back in. So this is literally what's happening. What we create inside is then being transferred to the outside 3D world. Okay, and then it will manifest into something physical from the 3D world, and that could be an experience. It doesn't have to be an object, and then it comes back to us, and then through that we think about it, we get perspective, and we put something else out, something else comes back. And this is what's happening. This is how we create reality, how we create the future, how we create everything. It's what we think, it's what we focus on. And I've obviously said this many times before as well, is the big scam here, and what we're seeing at the moment is the way that the nefarious ones, the ones that wish to rule us, the way that they get their way and that they do get to be in control, is they use us, they trick us, and they get us to focus on what they want, because they don't have creativity, they can't create, they are not us. And so they use us. They use us with the media, which is, of course, the goddess of illusion, Medea, Medea, goddess of illusion. And obviously, schools, education, peer pressure, all social media, all this kind of stuff is used to program us and indoctrinate us into focusing on their narrative, on what they want. And of course, we can see that it's very apparent at the moment. It's just everything is being shown to us at the moment, and we can literally now see that these people, these industries, they just lie to our faces just to make us believe what their bosses want us to believe. So that's what's going on. So how do we change that, right? How do we take control? How do we be in the world but not of the world? How do we get that perspective of being a creator and understanding that we're not a cog in the wheels, right? We're not a cog in the machine. We're an individual, a sovereign who was created divinely, and so we can create. And the thing is, I've just told you what the deal is, right? All we need to do is focus on what we want. And at the moment, so many people are passing around information, and it's the same information that's been going around for a year and a half, pretty much. The details may change, but it just gets passed around a lot and and over and over. And many people think that this is, the way to go, that this is waking up, that this is, being awake and knowing what's going on. But it's not. Okay, what we need to understand is, once you know the story, once you know what's going on, then that's all you need to know, because after that point, the more focus you put on it, you're just creating their reality for them. And of course, the reality that they get us to create is not good for us. Okay, so we need to focus on a future that we want and just forget that narrative. We know what's going on. We know that there's bad people making bad decisions and doing bad things, and silly people following them. We know all this, and really, the details aren't going to change that. You can get as many details, of you want about all the statistics and but that's not going to change your reality apart from making it worse, because it will bring that into your consciousness, into your field of vision, whatever you focus on. So we know what's going on. So now it's time to put that in the past, leave it behind, and focus on what you want, on solutions if you need those, because of course many people are going through changes with jobs, with industries. Many people are not able to work in their industry or their job anymore. Many people with businesses have lost their businesses over this, and many other things. People are losing licenses and not being able to work and all this kind of stuff. So we can look at that as something bad, and that's what the media, the goddess of illusion, that's what they want us to think. It's all so bad, but they also have a solution, right? Sit at home in a city and we'll give you a couple $100 so you can just survive. But we have a different choice, guys. We can focus on what we want. We can say, bugger that. Thank you, universe, for showing me that I was just really wasting my time and my life at my job. I wasn't enjoying it, because most people don't. If you did or you do, then continue to do what you're doing. Maybe just do it for yourself or with friends. You don't have to work for a big company. But where do you want to go? What do you want to do? What kind of life do you want to build? Where do you want to be? Not in 5 years. Where do you want to be now? It might take a few years to get there, but where do you want to be now? Because we have to see it as something that has already happened. Okay, so if we look into the future at things that we want, when you want something, you're telling the universe or God or whatever you want to call it, you're telling it that you don't have that thing. Okay, and there is no time, right? In the bigger picture, there's no time. Definitely God doesn't understand time. So if you're saying you want something, you're saying you don't have it. So that's what you get. It comes back to you more of not having it, more of wanting. But if you look at it as you have it now and you're happy and grateful for having it now, even if you don't physically have that thing or experience, then that's what's going to come to you. You will get what you want. And this is how it works. And we don't get to put a time frame on this. We don't get to make it too specific. We just get to, it's a feeling. This is how we talk to God, right? It's feelings. He understands feelings. Clearly, if he understood language, with 7 billion people or so, they say, how could he, he'd have to know all the different languages, right? So it's emotion and feeling that is how you talk. So you've got to see it in your mind and feel like it's happening now, like you're there now, in your amazing house, on your amazing block of land, with your veggie gardens, or in your perfect job, with your perfect partner, whatever it is, traveling, whatever. See it as happening now. And live in that space, live in your imagination more, because that's where creation happens. And I just watched a video with JCK and Mark Atwood on it. I'll leave the link below, actually, so you can have a look at it. It starts off with JC doing some dowsing, but if you sort of fast forward about half an hour or so, they start talking about creating the future, and they actually just go into 5 or 10 minutes where they're just having a conversation as they are right now in the place they want to be. So they're talking about, isn't it great that we get to travel everywhere we want? Travel's faster, it's cheap, we don't have to work silly jobs anymore, and we've got everything we need, electricity's free. And literally they were just talking as it was all done already. And that's what we need to do. Creating, a big part of creating is letting God know what you want. Speak it to the universe. Use everything. He does definitely, the force that binds and animates all things, that many call God or the universe. We can communicate in many ways. The best way, the most direct, is obviously emotion, but speaking, intention, right? Speaking, writing things down, bringing them from the 5D, the non-physical, into the physical, the 3D. Write it. That's literally turning a thought that is not physical into something that's physical. Thank you, Mark Atwood, for that one. So yeah, all these different things. So when you want something, it has to be now. Has to be happening now. You have to be experiencing it now, not in the future. It's happened now, and you have to be in that state until it appears. If you're in that state and you're a month into it and you're like, well, this doesn't work, it's not here yet, well, guess what? you've just lost it. And for all you know, it may have been a day away, a week, it may have been 2 hours away. So that's faith, right? Trust. You have to trust in something bigger than yourself. If you're an atheist and you're trying to work with these concepts, you may have some problems because, where's that power and that energy coming from? If there's nothing bigger than you, then you can't interact with something bigger than you to create reality. You need to believe in a creator and put your trust in that creator, that it's got your back, and that you can create whatever you want, and that it all comes from a place of good, and love. Because again, if we have this concept that the world's bad and it's a prison planet and it's run by evil people, and that's what we focus on, that's what we create and that's what we experience. So we become right. Okay, it's also this thing of your ego will always prove itself right. If that's what you want to believe, then your ego will make you think that. We have a thing in our brain called a reticular activating system. It will point these bad things out to you, so the ego goes, see how right I was? Look at all this bad stuff. And then you believe it, and then the more you do that, the more you experience it. So let's do that the opposite way and focus on what we want, and focus that it's there now, that it's happening right now, because this is how we create reality, and the reality that we want going into this new earth, right? This is what it's all about at the moment. So every sense that you can use your emotions, use your voice, speak, use your kinesiology, your physicalness, and write things down, imagination, all these different things. When you're imagining, in your imagination and you're feeling things, also feel it with your physical hands. Work on that, feeling whatever it is, the nice shiny car. Smell things. If you're on a block of land, what does it smell like? Smell the earth, all this kind of stuff. And the more senses you put into it, the more powerful it becomes. And of course, when you write it down, put it in front of you where it's somewhere you're going to see it every day, so it reminds you. And that's pretty much how we go forward and create the future. And of course, live there, guys. Live there. Live in the imagination a bit more, in nonsensicalness, as Kelly would say. In nonsense, right? Because nonsense is no senses. And of course, I've just said use your senses, but no senses as in you do it internally in your imagination, where your senses are all 5D and not physical. That's where you create in the nonsense, in the no sense. And then through that, because we're all toroids, we bring it out into the physical, and then it comes back to us to experience. And that's pretty much how we create things. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that you try this, that you go out and try this. Seriously, if you spend 5 or 10 minutes every morning and the same at night, things will start to happen. So if you do this, and I hope you do, please, come back and leave me a comment in a few weeks or a month or whenever things start to happen, and let us know how it goes. Because this is what we need to do. We need to work out these proper techniques at work, because there's too much fluff. Too many people telling you they got the answers, and all you have to do is give them, between $2,000 and $10,000, and they'll tell you that answer of how to get rich. It's probably create a course and go and tell people you've got the answer, right? And charge them $2,000 to $10,000. Who knows? So this is the thing. Use your power, guys. We are creators. Get in there. Create the world you want, and let me know. Let me know how you went. So thank you for spending some time with me. Thank you for everyone who does support me and this channel and my work. I really do appreciate you all. And please share this around if you find it helpful. Get the message out to other people, because we are in a time of great change, and the information we need is not necessarily the information that we have or that we are used to. We really need to get information from a higher level if we want to rise to a higher level. So thanks for spending some time with me. Look inside yourself, because there is greatness in there, and I'll talk to you all on the next upload. Bye for now. Do you have concerns about what the future may hold? Let's face it, the world has gone crazy, and people are now losing their jobs and being banned from entering certain stores and facilities in society. So if you're concerned about the future and you're looking to make some changes and safeguard yourself and your family against the changes that are coming our way, because we know that job security has gone. We now have to rely on ourselves to protect ourselves and our families. So if you're looking for options, I may have something you're interested in. freedomshift.life.